Good morning to all once again. Thank you so much for all the professionals who are attending this webinar. And AIMS, we provide CPD seminars and webinars across the Middle East and in India and also other Asian countries. Today, the session is aligned to provide you an introductory webinar on the competency-driven APC guidance program, which is helpful to you to become MRICS, that is from Member of Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors from UK. MAIQS, it is called Member of Australian Institute of Quantity Surveys. So apart from that, this particular webinar is aligned completely to provide guidance and also to provide certain sort of motivation. And in this webinar, you are not only learning about how to become MRICS alone is not sufficient, because in India, the certifications value is still not recognized by the companies. That's why learn 2025 skills, get ready for challenge. And some of the candidates are requesting for record. We don't accept in AIMS. Try to listen. The presentation slides will be shared to all of you at the end of this particular webinar. And please share this information to your colleagues and friends, and also make them to educate and also empower for the success ahead. So basically in this webinar, which I would like to highlight for all of you, during the webinar, don't on your MICS, don't draw anything on the screen, don't let your kids to use this particular tool. If anybody draw anything on the screen, you will be removed immediately from the Zoom meeting. So please be aware, professional behavior is very important, and try to listen complete guidance. Ask me questions during the sessions intermediately. That will help me and also help other professionals. Once again, big thanks to all of you. Don't on the cams during the webinar. Thank you so much. So the point which I want to highlight here is about a small introduction about me. Basically, I'm from India, Hyderabad, and been living in Dubai last 17 years, but continuously working for professional development necessity in India. And AIMS established in India as AIMS LLP in Hyderabad in 2020. We registered under the Indian Company Act and also establishing the Vision 2025 to make sure in India, every civil engineer, quantity surveyor, project manager, planning engineer, program manager, all the professionals from India and Asian countries to learn the important aspects of professionalism. Basically, I'm a civil engineer, but later I became a chartered quantity surveyor from UK. Now today I'm a fellow member from UK institution called RICS and also from Australia as well. And in India, many of you are not aware, there is an institution called Institute of Quantity Surveys, that's called IOS. Even in that, I achieved my fellowship. So all these fellowships are the final state of professionalism. Thereafter, I don't have any other things to prove in the world. But many professionals, they get certifications for their jobs, for their career, for their family growth. But leadership, what I have shown in my career or in my life, achieving success or knowing things is not only for you. First, implement and inculcate to many members of your community. Example, in Dubai, I started for Indian community. To start mentoring, I developed a platform called MAIQS in 2009. I was the 7th or 8th Indian who got the certification. At that time, it is very tough to achieve the certification. Thereafter, I taken forward this journey. I think there is one person, Raushan Mishra, is telling why it's not coming. So please try to re-log in. When you re-log in, everybody, you'll get the areas. Thank you so much. Now in the process, in the APC journey is always a journey. It's not about a 1 day or 2 day. So in this process of APC, I have to explain to all of you, the journey is always a fruitful journey. Yeah. I request the people don't on the cams during the webinar. Thank you so much. So the process of this APC, when I started at the time, I don't have any guidance. And then I started developing this first to Indian community. Later, I started developing to the other communities. So today, MAIQS in Dubai, almost 7 years, is an established company. I mentored more than 3,000 professionals across Middle East and also India. I request Mr. Vijay Kumar Madne of your camp, please. Thank you. So coming forward, after conducting several interviews, more than 300 in Dubai as a chairman and also as a counselor. So today, the objective of establishment of MAIQS, because many people have aspirations in the career. Even I too have. In 2005 or 4, I have an aspiration to come and work in Middle East, but no guidance, no one. So apart from that, the way I grown in my career, remember all of you, do something for society, but don't compromise your family. You have to develop your family. That's what happened in my career of 17 years. I can say we have a small family, my wife and my son, and every one of us, we are happily settled and we never compromised in our career growth. Yeah. I think one gentleman is drawing on the screen. Please, guys, don't draw anything. You will be removed immediately. Please make sure this is a professional webinar. If you don't have patience, and thank you, bye for you. Yeah, please make sure, be aware. Don't draw anything on the screen. So, guys, this professional webinar is definitely giving you a lot of storytelling exercises in this, because in India, many youngsters and also middle management, senior management, they want to get the certification only when they want to change the jobs, or when they want to do something, they look for it. But in my opinion, you have to understand, try to first to become a professional. So the professional always attain greater amount of their energy, their knowledge, and their passion to share to the things, whatever they can do in the life. So before I start this webinar, I would like to play a small video of mentoring journey of Ramesh and also MAIQS in Middle East and as well as in India. Watch a small around 2 minutes video about mentor and mentoring, how it helps you and how it can help you in terms of your growth and also in terms of your business. Watch it for a while. Thank you so much. I hope you all might have seen the way of our services and mentoring across the world. And more than 300, I think 30 MRICS been successful through AIMS in my 7 years of journey. In that, more than 40 professionals also acquired this membership and also success in their career from Pan India. So this introductory session on RACS APC process, because your expectations to know about this process. Being the chartered professionals, you all can do the better in your career after enhancement of your skills. So for all the youngsters in this room, you all have to invest only patience in the process and understand at your current levels against the professionalism which is required in the industry. But however, today on this great Sunday, you are all listening very patiently from your homes or maybe office. One saying I can say you to all of you, skills development in India and also other Asian countries is one of the great missions by the governments. But one word I can tell you, the future depends on what you do today. And today means, is it after the webinar or now? Maybe now. That's why please involve in this process, understand exactly what's happening across the world. So many of us will put in our CV as I'm a civil engineering professional, but your certificate did not certify you in your engineering degree as you are professional. But they certified that you have completed 4 years of engineering degree or 3 years of diploma or maybe another MTech or maybe double MTech, etc. In all, they are called academic qualifications. That means in that universities, you have studied certain course or a syllabus and you might have got some percentage of marks. But that alone, you cannot certify yourself or designate as professional. And the professionalism, how to understand today through my explanation. Compare with that, how to be as a true standing professional across the globe. Once you attain professionalism, nobody can stop your progression. And at the same time, in this agenda today, I will also speak about role of chartered quantity surveyor, also chartered project management surveyor across the world. And then this MRAS is not only for quantity surveys, even a civil engineer also can do that. And while doing it, so what are the advantages? How to become? There is a process called assessment of professional competence. RACS APC process is something bit complex, but if you understand today from this webinar, you all can understand and you can plan your careers. And the core competencies for QS and project management professionals. Basically, when I met during my last 10 years of visits in India, and starts with Pan India from Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and then Cochin and Mumbai, Delhi. In all the metros, I conducted various CPD seminars, met a lot of company. I can say companies like CBRE, companies like WTP, Hill International. I met a lot of company professionals. But what I found in all the majority of the cost consultants and as well as the clients and civil engineers, the two things I did not see in their, I can say, conversations. One is they are not happy. They are not happy in terms of they never feel so cool persons to talk about the industry. Example, when they are working with a company, they know certain area of the functions. But by the so-called, everybody has manager designation in all the companies majority. But one question you have to put to yourself, what do you manage? What do you manage? Is it only the management of quantity surveying aspects? Or are you managing the client's business? Are you aware of your client's business, what they are doing? Are you aware that you are an integral member of a business of somebody? That's why you so-called today an employee in an organization. Since you don't have, as an example, such a courage or understanding the business, then plan your career in such a way to attain first confidence. Then think about how you can use these competencies for your career. either to work within the organizations in India, or if you have career aspirations to go to the international countries. Everyone have that aspirations. Even I too have. When I came from India to Dubai, that aspirations alone is not sufficient, guys. You require right guidance and right skills that helps you how you can understand first in the APC process about the various competencies, compare your current knowledge and from your ability to capability level. And also now in India, there are a lot of change of cultural shift in terms of the professional work. Around 20 years back, when an engineer works in a project, he is responsible for everything: site execution, quality control, quantity surveying, and also closeout, liaising with authorities, even labor management also. But now it's been changing. If they given certain tasks to you, and if you work with a cost consultant, in that you work with a pre-contract. In that pre-contract, you are doing civil. In that civil, you are doing a specialized only structural steel and only reinforcement steel calculations. That's it. Your defined area, you are restricted to that. Do that precisely, accurately, and also fulfill the standards of the industry. So when you are doing such a job, how do you understand the business? How do you understand the industry in terms of construction? Today it is called so-called built environment. The built environment today, why they kept it? Because we are responsible today in the industry building and also balancing the natural and vibrant environment. That's why in the APC process, you have to understand these competencies, write the submissions, and then you have to strike perfectly your goal, not only to get a piece of paper, either a diploma or a degree or whatever. Even RICS also will provide you at the end of the day, MRICS diploma, a certificate. Can you hang the certificate in your neck and you want to go for jobs? No, not at all. You should go alone with you and with your skills and your confidence and your behavior and also your diplomatic and dignified and royal, I can say, a look and appearance. And many civil engineers today, when they start working from the sites, when they've been to the several companies, one thing which I did not find in them approaches, one is called, they don't have passion towards the profession. And always think that civil engineers having hard work or this profession always like this. Yes, it is true hard work. The civil engineering industry, especially for men, it's easy to do, at least for women, it's very tough to work. Even today, a lot of diversity and inclusion has been incorporated, and at least all the professionals are working across various estimation, costing, tendering, procurement, and also claims. That's why today, highly motivated world in the construction industry, but you all should understand what is meant by professionalism, how you can learn these global skills, how you can impart this one to your industry. As an example, today in India, after engineering, no one asking you to become a member of Institution of Engineers. Even I'm not a member of Indian Institution of Engineers. But a countries like Philippines, when I've been to Manila, their civil engineer cannot practice immediately after completion of engineering. They must be a member of PICE, it's called Filipino Institution of Civil Engineers. And there they have to understand very clearly. They have to get certified, get a license to practice. That means 4 or 5 years BSc Civil Engineering plus a license to practice. But today in India, there's no such license required. And also engineering colleges, when I compared at the time, when I studied 25 years back to now, every street has one engineering college in India. And the quality of engineering, I can say, education system. And recently when I met some industry, economists and as well as the academicians, they told me several colleges, they stopped and closed the branch of civil engineering. Are you aware of it? Why? Because computer science or electronics, and apart from there, so many new engineerings now, artificial intelligence. But guys, today I'm telling you very proudly, being a civil engineer, without civil engineer, nobody can do it in the world. Trust me. Without civil engineering, nobody can walk on the roads. Nobody can drive on the roads. No airports. Without airports, what the people can fly? And bridges, tunnels, industrial power plants, process industries. Yeah. And also the various real estate, high-rise buildings, villas, buildings, parliaments. Yeah. And apart from today in Hyderabad, one of the assembly has been built. Today, the chief ministers, prime ministers, where they are sitting. It is so-called the hard work and the sweat and the talent, knowledge and intelligence and the power of a civil engineer has been built. If you really feel proud of your profession, can you type in the chat box? If you feel proud that you are a civil engineer or an engineer, type in the chat box. I want to see your happiness. I want to see your happiness statement. If you are really proud. Yes, one Mr. Satish Babu is proud. Only one? Come on, guys, feel proud of your profession. Be passionate about that. Don't feel only only IT engineers can earn something. Yes, Mr. Danish is proud. Adrita is proud, and only few still shy. Why? Come on. I want to see if you're really civil engineer. If you feel proud, if you are a professional, I want to see your message. If you don't type message, I feel still you're not an engineer. Yes. Thank you so much. I can see some people are hands up. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Lovely. That's what today, when you feel proud of the civil engineering profession, and also when you know that today in the industry, without a built environment professional, even many of you may be thinking that in India or maybe other countries, who can build the fastest trains, supersonic trains, even the NASA, even SpaceX, without civil engineers or the foundation, without your foundation, nothing can be possible. And apart from this particular element, you all have to understand in the journey of a civil engineering career starts with exposing to the hot sun, sand, dust, dirt, cement, rains, cold, and also mud. There are several areas we come across. And today, maybe Ramesh is sitting nicely in 40th floor, opposite to the Y Marina, luxurious house, having fantastic cars and a nice son, earning a lot. Don't assume this has achieved without, seeing the mud or dust and dirt. I remember when I was working in India in ITC, one of the Bhadrachalam, one of the paper industry, morning to evening, I used to walk in the site. I know my safety shoes, entered into at least 1.5 feet, mud, and going to the around 25 feet to go to the top to check the, I can say, crane gutter alignment, roof sheeting checking. Still, I remember the hard work as a civil engineer, what we did it. But today, after listening to my webinar up to the end, you all will enlighten, think in a diversified direction. Because civil engineering is not stopped at one point, guys, today. And as the way you learn today engineering and BSc quantity surveying or whatever you study, and you gain certain number of years of experience, 5 years and above 40 years. So here, between 5 to 40 years of your experience, you have to reconcile how many companies you changed in your career, what type of companies you work, and are you happy in the career progression? Are you learning the new technologies today? Or only you confined to a certain area? Yeah, maybe 40 years you worked only earthworks contractor, and also only, aware of only cut and fill and disposal, and that's it. You cannot say that I have 40 years of experience in the industry. Be aware of the entire projects in India and also global level, the various types of projects you might have come across. Even in my experience, I worked with port trusts, power plants, paper industries, and also township projects, high-rise, villas, airports, hospitals, whatnot. In our industry, we'll get an exposure and opportunity to work in the various industries. But in the journey, you cannot complain to the people that I am very busy at work. You have to check yourself that did you achieve the real professionalism and who certified you. That's why today, quantity surveying professionals, project management professionals across the world, they have a greater amount of opportunities worldwide and to verify and to test and assess by the institutions. If you talk about PMI, Project Management Institution from US, they certify the engineers and also project managers in India as PMP. That is called Project Management Professional. It's also one of the good certification. Apart from that, from UK, when you talk about QS profession, MRICS, also MCIRB or MCIOB, or from AACC from America, they also certify cost CCP, it is called Certified Cost Professional. But in all the certifications, there is an assessment process. They will definitely verify your educational qualifications, your experience, and also assessment process have always a defined checks. That's why to become a professional across the world, you have to look at what type of organizations you are working today. If you are working happily in India, maybe in the project sites or corporate offices, or maybe remote, maybe on the hills, maybe forests, because civil engineer or maybe construction professional doesn't have any boundaries. No boundaries for you and no limits for you. It's up to you. Choose whatever the best jobs you want to acquire and to get into exposure. But in the global level, in the future, if you got an opportunity to work in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai, or maybe in Mumbai, it all depends on what type of choice of job you have taken. But here, one question you have to question yourself, are you well treated in the industry? Is it by your company? Or is it by your bosses? Or is it by the regional country and the practices? So the way you have to work out your current profiles with PMC companies, like project management consultants, cost consultants, engineering consultants, architects, supervision consultants. There are various types of consulting organizations are working in India at pan-India level. Apart from that, clients, contractors, subcontractors, specialist subcontractors, suppliers, manufacturers. In all the spectrum, you have certain role as a civil engineer, as a quantity surveying professional, or a project management. But here, majority candidates, they measure to make you well treated. Can you please type in the chat box, I want to see, if you want to be well treated in your company where you are working, what do you expect? Can you please type in the chat box? Few professionals, in few words, don't write big stories. Example, a best salary, or maybe good position, comfortable life. What do you expect? Position, yes. Position alone will not help, Prakash. You require good amount of salary, respect, skills, encouragement, proper timings, salary, designation, position, respect. May I request the people to mute yourself? Don't on the mics, please. Some candidates are attending from lot of noise. Those people learnings are zero. Excellent, good position, reputed salary, coordination. Thank you. Nobody has written here. No civil engineer here written here to learn business. No one written about a business. Why? Why civil engineer is only defined to knowledge? Why civil engineer is only defined to profession? Your satisfaction is only job. Your satisfaction is only salary. You refine only social life and work-life balance. You don't want to do your own business. Yeah, that's why today in the industry, whatever you are learning, the process and also the trust what you can build in the industry is very important. So there was a saying in the international business, if you have a courage to start understanding the business, within the 5 years, you will start learning the business. And next 5 years, you can start your business. This is what exactly happening in the industry. But majority of the civil engineers don't have time to think about at least their health. Yeah. We always expect something. That's why take in a month, 1 day break about you, understand what you are doing. Since you are not doing an analysis on the business, that's why somebody is doing business on you. It is true. In the beginning of the career, you cannot start your own business. That's why when I compared with one young British guy, example in Dubai, when I saw within 5 years, he looked for business development. You want to acquire the business acumen skills to understand what exactly this business. Example today, if you see this picture, one of the old project manager or project director, still he's working an employee to build the big business, that $2 billion business for the clients. Even project clients, consultants, and contractors and subcontractors and suppliers. That's why when you are aiming to grow in the career, the 40 subjects what you study in civil engineering starts with bending moment, shear force, hydraulics and mathematics differentiation, integration and logs, algorithms what you learn. Is it helping in the real industry when you wear the hat and drawings? Did you study how to read the drawings of civil, architectural, mechanical, MEP, and what do you call C&I? Did you learn about testing and commissioning, what's happening in the MEP installations in the colleges? Never, ever. That's why first year you are a beginner to the industry. Second year you are a learner. Third year you are a researcher, and fourth year a practitioner. Fifth year you have to become professional engineer. This is what exactly happening across the world. That's why in US, to become PE, you require certain number of minimum 5 years of experience. Even in UK, when you go to the civil engineering, I can say universities, the dilution of today worldwide, the quality of learning has been, very less. Even I studied engineering in JNTU College of Engineering, Kakinada in India, in Andhra Pradesh. In 1995, I stood as university first. With 85%, I got my first rank. But at that time, I was a student of earning marks, and certificate, marks and certificate. Stop this educational system, at least for your next generations. Learn skills. Learn skills. As an example in the industry, today in UK practices, quantity surveys doesn't require any qualification for information. Even they studied, as an example, if I compare with Indian standards, even if you fail 10th standard also, you can start quantity surveying. Why? Quantity surveying required the first aspect called quantification and costing. For doing the quantification and costing, you should be good at numericals, good at logical, good at common sense. That's it. Then the way you work with the quantity take off, that's what we call in India. And from there, pricing the items, estimation and costing. Thereafter, you enter into procurement and tendering processes, if by chance, if you well groom yourself. Then contract administration, study and understand conditions of contract and etc. Then go to the understanding claims and dispute resolutions. Finally, understand how you can handle the project in terms of the contracts, commercial, financial, and legal aspects. So today, if you are a diploma holder and attained some good experience, but applied common sense, and you become a true professional. Maybe. I appreciate that. And some of the engineering, double MTech, or maybe doctorates, sometimes they don't know how to handle the industry. Such people, when they achieve to the successful closure of the projects for clients, they are working with greater amount of their enriched experience. But today the world is looking at how you can add the value to the clients. Why today in the industry required certifications? Because earlier businesses, example 20 years back, if you look at in India, no metro projects, no shopping malls, and development of real estate up to 5 floors and 10 floors buildings maximum. Today, can you see that in the place like Mumbai, more than 40-50 floors towers, and each apartment is costing around 6 crores. If an apartment, 3-bedroom, if it is costing you 10 crores in Mumbai, it may cost you in Hyderabad maybe 5 crores. In Chennai, it can be 8 crores. Can you see the development scales? That means the developments today, whether it's a public or private, or it can be semi-government or government, they are involving into the huge amount of investments. That's why 2025, as per the international speculations of economics, India is such a booming country. That's why my suggestion, especially the youngsters, if you want to gain and acquire some international exposure, fly soon and get the experience and come back to India by 2025. Because by 2050, as per the Indian speculations of industry business, global investments, you will be the future leaders. But what you have to learn in this process, understand the global aspects of standards when you work as a site engineer, very tough job. Then started construction management, the next one program management and project management, and finally successful completion. So in this process, the way you have to look at, develop your not only technical skills, learn important aspects of the professional development, understanding the client requirements, then moving forward towards your technical, analytical, logical, plus business acumen skills to understand your personal, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and emotional intelligence, leadership skills, technical, and plus IT skills. Because in the future, you all have to live with not only computers today. Computers generation of construction 4.0 is nearly ending now, guys. Wake up. Artificial intelligence, which is emerging very soon into the industry. Yeah, the artificial intelligence, it cannot beat the natural intelligence. But this natural intelligence, what you have, unless you enhance to the next level, natural plus artificial is equal to enhanced knowledge. So for that, start learning what's happening in the world. Is today global village, the world is a global village. As compared to the constructions in India, in China, in US, Australia, Canada, in some of the countries, it's saturated. But still, the emerging technologies, when I see in Dubai in the last 17 years, what not they built, everything they built, still they are building. So every country, they have the vision. But for you, do you have vision? That's what, when you look at into professional development, certifications are expensive. Try to remember. But we need to dare enough to get that. Why? Because to attain professional confidence. The confidence, once you gain, your skills and your knowledge plus experience plus confidence is equal to anywhere you can beat any type of skills. That's what today I so confidently traveling different countries, meeting the people, sometimes government officials, statutory bodies. Who taught me all this? Yeah. I also studied as a civil engineer from government college in India. I spent 1,000 rupees for engineering. Yeah, only 1,000. But today, the way I do the business in terms of professional developments, yeah, I'm not constructing anything in the world. I'm not a civil engineering contractor. I'm not a consultant. I'm just mentor. So being an entrepreneur today, developing others is only the mission today. Because success you have to show to the world. Unless you've been successful, nobody trusts you. That's why success to achieve, chase the skills. Chase the skills to go to the level called excellence. The moment once you reach to the excellence and people start listening to you. That's why you all have to apply need analysis, exactly what you have to learn. When you apply for jobs, some companies, they may not select you. Even when I applied for some jobs during my employment stage, some companies rejected me also. I accepted. Because we should understand what is the industry needs. Don't live on the number of years of experience. If somebody in this room, above 50 years, if you are selling number of years of experience to the industry, stop that. Because industry being changed. Now, if somebody asks me, Ramesh, how old are you? I say, I am sweet 16 with more than 31 years of experience. Because we all have to be as a learner. We all have to be as a learner. So that's why in the industry, when companies they are hiring you or to promote you, don't depend on number of years of experience or don't depend on your talents or acquisitions of knowledge, your skills and your behavior. That's why all middle management and young professionals try to look at the senior management in your companies. They were also like you at one point of time. Example, today, one managing director of a biggest cost consulting company in India, he was also at one point of time like you as an engineer. But what is the difference between that managing director of the biggest cost consulting company and you? The difference is he understands the business. He truly understands the business. And the behaviors changes him what you want. That's why when in the current companies, if you want to be as a good employee, you have to be outstanding. You have to be with excellence. Then only the companies will take you. That's why in the upcoming emerging world of artificial intelligence, what I want to tell you, especially I have to respect the professionals from India because this webinar is aligned towards India. Of course, other nationalities are also attending. The greater and rich heritage of India is about behavior. Behavior, respecting the professionals. Majority of the professionals when I am meeting in India, people doesn't have two things. One is called patience. Second is called respect the expectations of the industry and the clients. Try to go back to the history of, as an example, ancient countries times. India is such a heritage country, rich in the culture, rich in the behavior, rich in the, I can say, ethics. If you can bring back that, you are the star. That's what today great CEOs of IT companies, only they applied it. That's called common sense. Unfortunately, common sense doesn't have a degree in university. That's why in AIMS, I apply always common sense principles. As an example, today, you all joined this webinar to learn about RACS. Maybe 10% of the people got bored with what Ramesh is saying because you are in a case of technical skills. You break the case and listen to what I am speaking. Example today, one of the MQS, maybe 10 years of experience, I call as a MQS. And maybe one project manager working in a company, a consultant or maybe contractor. You want to enhance your skills in the future, again, to join a good company, right? For how much increment? 20,000 or 50,000 or 1 lakh increment or hike in the job? Fine. But how long you walk like that? Think seriously. Don't you want to start your own businesses in the future as a good consultancy, as a QS consultancy, as a PMC consultancy? But by the way, guys, every consultancy started with one person in the beginning, or maybe two persons. Maybe today, one of the biggest cost consultancy, anything from UK or US, when you study the history, it started by one or two people like you as an engineers. But very important here, professional QS or PMC services, if you want to deliver to clients, your pre-contract management skills are very important. Starts with understanding the client's brief, how you can prepare with a high level of common sense, and also professional abilities called due diligence. Start developing the development appraisals for the clients and understand the financial viability of the project to build, because the business owners are investing the money. If you go to a shopping mall today, in shopping mall, how many businesses are happening? Yeah, how many businesses? On an average, in one shopping mall in Hyderabad, as an example, if I've been to several malls, maybe 200 business outlets. These 200 business outlets are retail outlets. But the owner of the shopping mall who built it, he invested the capital expenditure and he started earning the rents now. That means the business owner, when they establish a shopping mall, he has to see the development appraisal. How much money I'm going to spend, how much money I'm going to get return, within how many years I'm going to get return. That's why in the RICS pathways, valuation pathway, project management pathway, QS pathway, several professionals, they advise the clients at this pre-contract inception stage. Then thereafter, once the project start evaluation, then started understanding the procurement strategies, either it can be traditional procurement or design-build procurement rule. Thereafter, developing the tender drawings, specifications, then tender process, then finally selection of the best contractor with the appropriate tender evaluation strategies. So once the pre-contract services you deliver, and in this process, cost consultant prepare the cost plan, setting the budget for client. The moment once you come to the post-contract, started with the understanding the contracts, contracts administrations, and contracts management. That too, working with client and consultant, you look for the client's budget control. When you look for the contractors, you look for commercial management, profitability issues, cost control processes. And thereafter, you have to look at all your payment applications, variations, new rates. Is the science is stopped at the quantity surveying at the stage? No. Next is called clients management. In international contracts or international projects in India, the science of claims is one of the emerging area. But in our civil engineering, you don't study a science of a claims. Where you are learning the claims either from your seniors or maybe your managers or maybe from your directors. That too in India, as per Indian Contract Act 1872 to until the current systems, we all use the bespoke conditions of contracts. And also the mechanisms of claims, even for extension of time claims, disruption claims, acceleration claims. Yeah. And if you call other extended area of called ex gratia claims. So all at Indian contract systems, every area you follow bespoke, and the resolution of these processes are not sufficient enough to work in the international contracts like FIDIC. When you talk about the FIDIC suite of contracts 1999 or 2017, that would be the emerging area in future in India and also in Middle East. In case if the claims are not well managed, it starts the conflicts and disputes. There it starts the dispute resolution processes. That's why if you have come across and understanding the conflicts, avoidance and dispute resolution processes, understanding the legal aspects of how to deal with them. Now today in India, many people are looking at clients about alternative dispute resolution systems. When alternate dispute resolutions for what? Against the litigations. Why? They have to make sure to avoid any adversarial procedures. So this slide, whatever I spoke, essentially many people in this room, 90% you did not understand many things what I spoke because you did not come across the entire spectrum of either cost consultancy management or project management. This is what exactly happening in the Middle East, the so-called top consultants. Yeah, they manage, understand the client requirements. That's why if you want to become a certified professionals from either RICS or from any other institutions, understand the value of certifications and why today, especially in the Middle East jobs, in the last month I was in Saudi Arabia. When I'm speaking with clients like Red Sea projects, NEOM projects, there are plenty of jobs are available for 2030 vision of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But will they select the professionals from India with your experience? My answer is yes. But you should know a minimum level of standards, exposure, understanding the how overseas projects they work. And apart from that, in the international level, if you look at still in case of UAE, many people say the jobs are over, but my network says jobs are existing for right people, right attitude people with right skills. But only the problem, what is happening, dear all young professionals, the CVs, the recruiters majority, they follow the requirements given by the clients. Even today in the contracting firms also, they are looking for a commercial manager to be a chartered professional, either RICS or MAIQS. Why? Because the contractors and clients that they are doing $1 billion projects now, not like old. They don't want to take a risk by hiring non-certified professionals. Here I have to play one critics. Does really all certified professionals are behaving properly? Are they really adding the value to the clients? Maybe or may not be. Yeah, maybe or may not be. The reason because getting certifications, people are thinking that's the end of your studies or the professional development. That is also not correct. That's why today people are ready to recruit the people of talented people, even without certifications also, guys. Without certifications. And with my experience in across the 6 GCC countries, I had seen many rich professionals in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, though they are diploma holders also. But once they lost the jobs, your talent and your experience and your wisdom or anything is not being selecting at the recruitment stage unless you add the titles of, unfortunately, this MRICS or etc. Guys, today in the industry is traveling in a different direction, guys. That's why the certifications has become mandatory. And even when I started 10 years back, after 13 years back, this mentoring, still it's not saturated with the requirement. That's why I'm doing this particular seminars and webinars and developing the paper. So thank you so much for all of you for allowing me to speak on the reality ground of certifications. I will now start the real process of what you're expecting. Before we proceed for this topic, I would like to request all of you to see the message posted by my team member, Ashi Bansal. And you can check in the messages, there is a form, there's a Google form. Please click that and type in that the requirements details. I will give a small break of around 5 minutes. Then after that, I will start explaining. I will also give another break after another 30 minutes. So 5 minutes break for all of you to fill the form. And in the form, we provided details. And please fill the form. In case if this form is not working, type in here in the chat box your full name in capital letters. And the same name will put in the CPD certificate. And also put your email ID properly in case if the form is not working for you in the chat box. Then we'll share you some valuable books also to you within a 1 week, and also CPD certificate and this presentation slides also. Now, after the 5 minutes, I will start very interesting topic, how to become a chartered QS and also how to become an ASOC RSS. Thank you so much. 5 minutes is break now. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of your great patience. And further to the introduction, what we discussed, thus what the importance when you are applying for some memberships. These memberships carries its own liability. Just to get the memberships, you have to understand what is the process involved. So I will explain the 2 types of memberships with RSS today. One is called ASOC RSS for the junior level and also for diploma holders. Second is called chartered, that is MRICS process. Here, these 3 certifications, what is given under here, ASOC and MRICS and FRACS. So ASOC and MRICS are the basic levels where you have to attain. FRACS is called fellowship after the 5 years of achieving MRICS. RSS, when they prepare for their future, the professionalism, what they develop, it helps you in many ways. So let us understand about RSS, what they do worldwide, and why to join RSS. I will explain with a lot of examples in the future, in the upcoming slides. Also, I will discuss on the benefits of MRSS status. And today in India, some consultancy directors and also client organizations, they have this chartership. And very importantly, some of them, they are not demonstrating that abilities. That's why the values of this chartership is not fully recognized in India, and awareness is only limited to the senior management professionals. So there should be a good balance between contractors, consultants, and clients should be aware of these professional standards. But again, you have to work as per the industry standards in India. So let me play one video to explain what exactly in case of RACS, what are the different areas they are working at global level. Watch a small video. Thank you. That's what the confidence through professional standards is what they say about RICS. But don't assume that once you got MRICS or maybe any certification, you may not get this type of a confidence unless you involve in the process, unless you involve and learn the things. So there are some messages I can see. I think these are all related to the registrations. And please make sure, try to fill the Google form, and by end of the session, definitely you will also get some future information from AIMS about all the presentation slides. How to understand this MRICS and ASOC RICS? There are RICS accredited degrees, especially in India. There is a university called MIT. MIT, they provided School of Built Environment, especially MBA courses that are related to quantity surveying and commercial management and project management. Such courses in India only RICS SBA School of Built Environment, MIT Mumbai and Delhi. Those RICS accredited degrees are only the degrees are accredited in India. Rest of the all other universities, including IIT, also not been accredited by RICS. So if such anybody has this accredited degrees, especially from RICS School of Built Environment MIT students, if they have APC 12 months or 24 months structured training, 12 months if they are less than 5 years, and if they have between 5 to 10 years, they have to take 1 year structured training. If they have more than 10 years, see the third box, they can also go for directly final submissions and interview. Majority of you, 99%, you all belongs to the second box, non-accredited degree. You will come under the preliminary assessment rule. So apart from these three boxes, if you see the below, senior management, that means if you are working at a director level and managing more than 30, 40 people under you, running the business, then you will come under the senior management role. Then all these routes up to here, these 4 boxes, will allow you to attend the interview with the submissions and then to get MRICS. In case if you don't have such degrees or diploma holders, then you have to come for one of the route called ASOC RICS. Even ASOC RICS, once you attain, you can become MRICS. For that you need to do degree. And even after that, for any routes to get MRICS, the must thing is you have to prepare submissions, submit and attend for interview. So this process explained in detail in the later parts of the slides. And finally, once you achieve MRICS after the 5 years, if you really serve the society and build the value in the profession, then you will become FRICS. In today's my presentation, I am speaking about first ASOC RICS. In ASOC RICS, it starts with no degree, no diploma, but you should have minimum 4 years experience. And also diploma with more than 2 years. Engineering more than 1 year and less than 5 years. All this, they're applicable for ASOC RICS. You have to write your submissions, no interview, and you have to do one ethics test. You can apply for ASOC RICS. This takes approximately 6 months time to complete the journey. When you come to the direct entry route, if you have PMP, diploma plus PMP, or anybody who has PMP degree, if they want to direct entry, no need of any submissions, send your details to RICS plus PMP certificate and do ethics module test. You can apply for ASOC RICS. But for senior professionals, like who has engineering degree, more than 5 years of experience, you don't need to go for ASOC RICS. This is a slide is applicable for ASOC RICS. That's why here, if you have a diploma or any other without degree, you can enroll with APC process, that is called Assessment of Professional Competence. You have to first pay the money, and regarding the fee and the other details, I will explain in the next slides. So what you have to do the submissions. One is called case study, second summary of experience, third is called CPD record. Once you submit these 3 details, then you will get ASOC RICS. So regarding this ASOC RICS, in general, when I take the candidates to AIMS, I will not separate them. I put them into MRICS program. I give them complete knowledge, but I will make them to attend submissions and they can get easily. In AIMS, I mentored more than, I believe, 100 professionals from Ashoka races, and they achieved the success, and now they are progressing towards MRICS. How they can progress? With your Ashoka races, minimum 1 year studies you have to do, then go for assessment process of APC, interview, then you can become MRICS. So let me start explaining the MRICS process now. This is, I think, majority of you are looking for it. To become MRICS process, if you have engineering degree and more than 5 years of relevant experience, then you can choose either QS pathway or PM pathway, and then you can apply for MRICS. Or if you have anybody in this room, if you have any RICS accredited degrees, then based on this number of years which I mentioned, especially these two routes required 1 year and 2 year structured training. Otherwise, if you have RICS accredited degree plus more than 10 years of experience, they can go for no structured training route. If anybody attending from Sri Lanka, especially studied in Moldova University, if you have more than 10 years experience, you can go for no structured training route. I will explain these two routes with the detailed flow charts at later parts of the slides. So to start the APC process, the way I have explained in the beginning, don't take up any professional certifications without having a vision and understand process. Then you have to analyze clearly what you are, what you want to grow. Even your behavioral skills has to be groomed. Your professional abilities has to be enhanced. Ultimately, in the assessment, you will get success. So for APC process, you have to start with either your accredited degrees of BSc from UK or even from Sri Lanka or from College of Estate Management from UK, MSc from Heriot-Watt or maybe any British universities. In India, MBA is also one of the things from MIT University. They're all called accredited degrees. Or if you don't have accredited degree, engineering alone, it is called Professional Preliminary Assessment Route. Or if anybody is senior professionals, it is called Senior Professional Assessment, called SPA. They all have to, first of all, enroll with RICS. I will explain the enrollment process in next slides. Once you enroll, that means pay the fees, then you have to start drafting submissions. One is called a case study, second summary of experience, and third CPD record. Then you have to develop your presentation skills, because in the interview 1 hour, you have to present 10 minutes. In the 1 hour interview, they will ask you several questions. You have to present your case study. And if you convince the 3 panel members in the interview, you will get the chartered sheet. Nowadays, RICS is conducting pan-India through the online interviews. Through webcam, the way you are attending today this webinar, you can also pass the APC interviews. Earlier, you need to go to Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore. But maybe in the upcoming years, because COVID already has closed now in India, you have to face the live interviews also. So this process, how to register, before that you should understand the values of our chartered world. The chartered MRICS word in India, when you are applying this, you should know its value, because it is not only recognition from Royal Charter from UK, because RICS is an institution more than 150 years old. That institution means it's not a college. Example, today I'm a fellow member. I'm a part of institution. Example, when I'm talking, when I'm speaking, when I'm guiding you, I'm representing the institutional values. Similarly, in the future, you are. So that's why chartered surveyors are highly trained and experienced property professionals. And also you should develop your courage and skills and your ethics to act as impartial. And also you should provide specialist advices to the various clients. That's why to become MRICS, it's not only recognition, you also have responsibility towards the profession. RICS developed some candidate guide. They provided clearly how to understand this APC process, how to write the submissions, CPD records, and ethics test. These guides are available in the RICS website. You can download. And let me explain you the process of how many steps in this APC process. APC stands for Assessment of Professional Competence. First, you have to register through online in the RICS website. or you can send your any CV what you have with your educational qualification and experience. If you are attending this webinar from Middle East, this is the email ID. If you are attending from India, you have to use APC candidate support at riss.org. Then they will reply to you. If you have an RICS accredited degree more than 10 years experience, they will give no structured training. Or if you have engineering degree and more than 5 years experience, they will give you preliminary assessment. You need to choose a counselor and who already passed MRICS or FRICS. They are responsible to oversee your progression in the APC process. And you need to log in into the RICS by paying the fees. They will give the account. In India, the fee structure I will explain in the next slide. There is around 41,000. Once you pay the money, you will get an access to your account. They will give you one of the ERC center that is called APC Resource Center, just like your LinkedIn account. You have to log in into your account, add your counselor details, and then that will allow you to submit your documents. First, you have to understand your APC pathway, whether the pathway is a QS or PM. Majority of the engineers who are working in India as a site engineer or a planning engineer, construction manager, working in the sites to manage people and project and process, they come under the PM pathway. QS means working with commercial, costing, etc. They're all come under the QS pathway. So you need to choose your competences. Choosing competences depends on the pathway. They provided certain guidances, and this is the way how they provide the various guides. And these 6 steps, what I explained, it's a basic process how you need to understand, apply, and registration. Then RICS website have this CV, download and fill your details, what you have, personal, academic qualifications, plus if any other detail. It is completely self-explanatory form. Or you can send your own CV also. RICS, they are honoring it now. Apart from that, they provided candidate guides and also counselor guide, then quantity surveying competency guide, and as well as the project management guide. When you go through these details, you will get an idea how to prepare for your APC process. And also you should follow RICS India emails, whatever they send regarding your timelines, interviews, and submissions. These are the pathways under RICS APC, either project management pathway or QS pathway or valuation facility management. But that all depends on, you may get a doubt, Ramesh, I am working currently as a project manager. Can I take QS pathway? If you have experience, you can take. End of the day, whether you got MRICS, once, that doesn't matter whether you're a QS pathway or PM pathway. So once you send an email to RICS, they will reply to you by providing 3 stages. First, you will receive an email, confirmation of your enrollment after you pay the money. Then you have to start preparing the submissions. Submissions are, these are the documents. One is called summary of experience. You have to draft summary of experience for 11 competencies for 1500 words, and technical competencies you have to write for 4000 words. Case study, 3000 words document. Professional development record, you need to develop 48 hours. Then you have to attend one of the ethics tests. Then submit your preliminary submission. Once preliminary submission approved, then you will come for the interview. So I believe you're all listening continuously more than 1.5 hour. So I would like to provide one coffee break now, and I will give you approximately 10 minutes break, and don't leave the room, stay in the room. If you have any questions up to now, what I asked you, you can type in the chat box, but there are very important slides after this. I will explain to all of you, and stay back in the room. And if anybody forget to fill the details in the registration form, put it. And after 10 minutes, we'll continue further very important details of how to prepare competencies, etc. and submissions also, I will explain to all of you. Thank you so much, and stay in the room. If you have any normal doubts also, you can type in the chat box. I will clarify to you. Thank you. I can see here some messages. I will answer to these people before I proceed to the next point. So let me answer to the person by person. There's a question by the worker. Is this helps for planning engineer? Yes. You can apply from the project management pathway. Listen to my next part of the webinar. You will understand clearly how this helps you to become from planning engineer to project manager. Also, there's a question by Satish. You have 6 years of experience, MICS, PM 4 years and QS 2 years. Which pathway you can select? So since you have a progression towards, I think, QS, so better you can take QS and you can write in your CV previous experience of mix with QS and PM. And Athimullah Ansari, what if I'm a diploma holder with 11 years of experience and he can take direct MRICS through APC route? I think Athimullah, you did not understand my explanation maybe before. Diploma holders cannot apply to RACS. First, they have to apply ASOC RACS, even though they have either 11 years, 20 years, or 30 years, but they have to progression further. How to become MRACS, they have to study 1 degree and they can apply. Pradeep, is PMP certification can benefit in getting MRACS? No added value in terms of PMP, but PMP knowledge, what you gain, it will be helpful in the APC process. I will explain one of the slide, what is the difference between PMP and MRACS in the later parts of the slides. Mohammad Javed, you are from Pakistan and you have intention to become chartered. Your credentials, engineering, 4 years. 4 years you studied, excellent. And you have 10 years in the quantity surveying and construction contracts. You can apply through the QS pathway and you can apply from India MRAC, RACS India branch. Narishimha Murthy, you late joined. Can I have the recordings? Generally, we don't provide recordings, but however, you can approach to my team. We'll look at the presentation slides we'll share. And any professional webinars, always you have to join on time. Thank you. There's a question by Bhagyashri. You have done MBA in project management, BE in civil engineering, and 1 year experience in QS. Are you eligible for RACS or ASOC RACS? Here, that MBA from which university you have to specify, Bhagyashri, and 1 year experience in QS, but you did not say your total years of experience. That's why you can type another message in the later parts. I can explain to you which are the exact route, or you can also interact with me during the further sessions at the end. And another question by Rushan, you have 14 years of experience in electrical MEP. You are a manager in MEP. You have recently done MBA in operation production. Kindly suggest. So MBA from other universities are not accredited. Being your MEP manager, you can apply from project management pathway under the preliminary assessment route. There's a question by Mohammed Wasif. Can we pursue MRICS studies from India being in Middle East? So being in Middle East, you have to attend Middle East. I have separate classes, and your experience in Middle East, you have to learn from Middle East sessions and apply in Middle East only, because RSS will not allow you to apply in India. You can contact me separately in Dubai. I can guide you. So Bhagyashri DY Patil College. So in that case, you are not eligible for the direct entry. Only ASOC RSS you're eligible, but you did not type your number of years of experience, Bhagyashri. So if you have only 1 year experience, you're eligible for ASOC RSS. Then, yeah, total experience 2 years. Then you can apply for project management pathway and try to listen to the competencies after my explanation. There's a question by Mr. Parag Kulkarni, 20 years of experience, which should be the route. I'm working as an associate director. So associate director level, you can apply definitely through the senior professional route, but you should explain to me how many people you are managing under that. So you can contact me separately. I can guide you. Otherwise, you're eligible for the preliminary assessment route. Thank you. And Alvin, PMC working, BE 10 years experience with pathway select. I think I explained clearly all this one, no need to ask individually. You eligible for 10 years experience if you don't specify what type of PMC working, but you maybe work as a QS also. That's why QS pathway, PM pathway very clearly explained. Accordingly, you need to select. Sujan, you have masters in construction management, have 10 years experience, and PM pathway, you can choose preliminary assessment. Yeah, I explained to you, Bhagyashri. And here is you have completed bachelor's degree, 9 years experience, mixed experience of 5 years site engineer, 4 years quantity surveying, so preliminary assessment. I believe Parag, you are eligible for senior professional role. Kritika, having QS 9 years experience, have applied for MSc quantity surveying in UK this September. Can I start the course from India? Better you can start from here. You will learn a lot of things from in this process. Parallelly, you can do APC also in the UK. But you have to understand what experience you have. You have to discuss with us at the end of the session. Dilshan have completed BE Civil Engineering, National Institute of Engineering Technology, India. Have experienced QS more than 20 years. Route is preliminary assessment route. That's it. Understand Kritika and Pradeep, business study, how we can start understanding business. Any videos recording this? So my suggestion, Pradeep, study your business. Don't study others' business. What exactly which company you are working. And at the end of the session, please try to interact with me. I can explain you what are the better ways you can understand about business management skills. And through AIMS, whatever we provide also, I will share with you. If you like it, you can join AIMS also. The last question I am taking right now. After that, I will take the questions later. One is Divya. You have 12 years experience in QS and design consultant and also contractor in highway projects. You belongs to preliminary assessment route. And now let me explain to all of you clearly all the routes, how you have to follow and how to prepare. So once you receive after registration an email, what you have to do? You need to pay the money to RICS. While paying the money, there is a two ways to understand this APC fees. MRICS approximately they have to pay 41,000 rupees in India, and that is a constitute of your registration fees and also enrollment fees. In this 41,000, approximately 29,000 it's for interview fees, and 7,232 is called annual subscription. If you register now this year with RICS, you did not proceed further. But next year, if you want to continue that registration, you have to pay every year 7,232. And in this RICS APC process, this 41,000 just to pay and attend interview up to become member. Once you become a member, every year you have to pay 25,000 rupees to maintain your membership. I believe in India, people looks at this as expensive. But as I explained in the beginning, when you are doing any professional studies, anything related to UK, US, and Canada, Australia, in all these institutions, every year annual fees are high. But if you understand the way you have to sell out yourself in the industry, as an example, today in Dubai, I pay for my FRACS approximately 3,500 every year. That comes to in India, say example, 85,000 rupees. But if I'm paying 85,000 rupees to RSS, I can earn 85 lakhs because that's the business competence skills what I have. So if I don't continue that membership, then I cannot use that credentials. Yeah, that's why in India, 25,000 approximately every year you have to reserve and to maintain. Ashok RSS, it has 21,000. In that 10,000 is the assessment fees. Every year you have to pay until you finish Ashok RSS 5,813. And these two fees is what you pay. Up to 6 years, you can do the APC process. Yeah, up to within 6 years. But anytime, once both of these routes, once you pass either MRICS or Ashok RSS, for MRICS 25,000. For Ashok RSS, I think they are charging 20,000, I believe. So this is the every year you have to start paying the money. So that's why RICS, when you start thinking, it's called lifelong learning, lifelong payment. But if you understand up to end of my sessions, lifelong earning is also possible. As an example, before I used to go to companies and I used to earn money, salary. Now I'm not going anywhere. I'm earning money. By 2025, I don't work after that, but still I will earn money. That's why you all have to learn how to make business management skills. Yeah, how smart you have to be in the industry. These are all other business management skills, which RICS may not teach you, but AIMS may teach you. You can wait for me up to end of the sessions. I will give the wonderful ideas for that. So friends, up to the fees, what I mentioned here, whatever I have given here, these are all the up to now existing, but anytime RICS, when they changes in India, I am not responsible. You have to be with this approximate features. These are all. So apart from this, in case if you apply in Middle East features are high. That will be approximately in Indian currency. It will be in terms of 3,500 means around 90,000 approximately. Instead of 41,000, you have to pay double here in the Middle East. So in the enrollment process, once you register with RICS, if you pay the money, that's what your starting process in the APC. Let me answer to some more questions by the team members here. Vinod, diploma, civil engineering, more than 14 years. You are eligible for Asok RICS. Paramesh, BTech civil engineer, having 6 years experience on roads and highway. He belongs to preliminary assessment road. So guys, once you have done that, preliminary, once you pay the money, then you have to start preparing your written submissions, case study, summary of experience and CPD records. And once you submit, and I will show you the timelines, what are the different timelines for case study submissions plus interviews. Get ready for interview and attend interview. If you pass interview, you'll get MRICS certifications. So the process, what I explained now, try to listen through one small video where you will understand in terms of APC.
So how do you become an MRICS? Let's take a closer look. What did you study? Do you have an RICS accredited degree? Great! You have a strong foundation already. You will need a minimum of 2 years of work experience. If you have any other bachelor's or master's degree, the number of years you've worked and your seniority in the organization will determine your route to MRICS. The final decision about your route will be taken in consultation with an RICS expert panel. Which areas or fields have you gained the most experience in? We call these fields pathways. Think about which of these you have the highest competence in. This will be your chosen pathway to MRICS. But how do you know whether you're competent or not? RICS has, based on decades of expertise, decided what are the knowledge and skills you need to be called competent in an area. We call these competencies. Mere knowledge of these competencies is not sufficient. To be able to achieve chartered status, some competencies that are critical to that pathway need to be at the highest levels. How does RICS evaluate competence? This is done through the assessment of professional competence, or the APC. The APC is an evaluation process that assesses if professionals have the required competencies and skills to the defined levels. The APC involves recording your experience, a prelim review, and a final interview. You will be awarded the MRICS qualification once you have cleared the final interview. Either after self-assessment or during the APC process, if gaps are found in your application, you can sign up for the ELP or the Emerging Leaders.
Thank you so much. Here, the submission guidelines in India. Yeah, thank you so much for your patience to listen to a video. Now I would like to show you guys how to understand the timelines for MRICS in India. First of all, if you start enrollment in this month, say like June, if you enroll, then your preliminary submissions by 20th October, you have to submit. That means you have a time for June, July, August, September. So that's why AIMS, we are starting our next batch from 11th of June. That is approximately within after 20 days. So once we start in June, we'll finish our training program by September. We'll support the candidates to submit the documents by 20th October. Once you submit, then you will get results, preliminary submissions by December. Then you have to apply for final submissions in the month of 20th January. Then your interviews will be in March 2023. So this is current timeline, how to plan your progression. That means from June, if you start, by next year, March, you will complete the entire process. This is the timeline possible in India. In case if you have an accredited degree, in that case, it is a different time. You don't need to submit preliminary submission. Your final submissions in September, interview will be in October. So for both these two types of routes, my upcoming program 4 months, it will help you. In case if you are planning either from Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and also Asian countries, mostly, they all have to follow this timeline. And ASOC RACs also, if you start from June, by September, you can submit your documents, and by October, you can become ASOC RACs. These presentation slides, you all will receive. That's why I mentioned very clearly in the chat box. If anybody late joiners in this room, please type, I think if Ashi, if you are available, can you please type your link again, and people can start. If anybody missed it to type, because we received only 60 people, but whereas more than 100 people are attending today this webinar. And if you don't fill the details, you will not get CPD certificate, and also you will not get the further details. Please type, and let me see here whether the Ashi, if it is not available, let me copy and paste that link here. Yeah. For all those who joined late, please type. I am posting here the Zoom link. Sorry, not Zoom link, your Google link. Yeah. Fill these details, and you will get a CPD cert. If already filled, means you are not required to fill this form. There is a question by Parag. It's not, it should be, isn't it? It should be 2024. Yeah, actually, you're right. This is I copied from the current website, is showing still 2023. When you do this one, October 2023, then this will be 2024. You are right. Okay, this is exactly RAC's website I copied. Still, it is showing 2023. Right, by 2024, you will become MRICS. Here also, ASOC RACs within 2023. To give you more clarity, RAC's website doesn't update with the details. That's why I'm explaining here through this flowchart. If any engineers who has more than 5 years of experience, if you don't have any accredited degree, first you have to fill the CV and you have to send to RACS. They will reply to you. If you are getting the approval of preliminary assessment route, you need to pay the money to RACS by 15th August 2023, All India team. Then once you enter into your assessment portal, the stage 1, it will get complete. So that is what exactly how it works for the stage 1. In the stage 2, it will say to prepare your documents, case study of 3000 words, CPD record of 48 hours, and also summary of experience around 5500 words. These 3 documents I will explain in the later parts of the slides. They are called written submissions. RACS will review, and then this target, if you enroll by 15th August, you have to submit the documents by 20th October. Then you will get results by December, and if you pass the preliminary submissions, you will get comments and report. Then you will be entering into stage 3. There you have to, by 20th January 2024, you have to submit as a final submissions. So what you will do, final submissions, whatever the preliminary submissions you are submitting here, once you got result, you will get the complete report of 20 pages. So you need to update and submit the same documents in 20th January for the entry. Then assessment panel, 3 people, chairman and 2 assessors. They will conduct an interview in March 2024. If you pass, you will get your MRICS. This is the entire timeline and the process. Once I send the presentation slides of this particular presentation, you can print out the slide, keep it for you. If you are preparing by yourself, these are the target timelines. And I hope I have explained clearly. If you have any doubts in this process, you can ask me. For example, if you don't pass here, again, you have to pay that 29,500 again, and you need to attend the interview each failure. Once you fail here, you will not go for preliminary submission here. You will come under the final submissions. So how many times you can appear here? As many times, as long as you have money, you can pay and you can attend. Now let me answer to some questions which I left over. There is a question by Satish. Can you brief more about final interview process? I will explain. I have a clear slide on that. You wait for me. In the next slide, it will come. There is a one person, Akbar Shah, your graduate mechanical engineer, 20 years experience, procurement, etc. So you have commercial management and quantity surveying from Heriot-Watt. That is called one of the accredited degree. So can you kindly guide me which route? You belongs to the, you are not a civil engineer, no issue. But as long as you're working with the MSc degree, you will apply for no structure training route as a final submissions route. So you have to follow the second flow chart, which I explained earlier. There's one more, Nilmoni Das. Diploma in Civil Engineering completed 2011 and BTech completed 2022, but working since diploma completed, total 12 plus years of experience. You can go for RICS. Yes, you're eligible under the preliminary assessment route. You can apply for MRICS because you completed your engineering. Narasimhamurthy, due to internet unstable, I joined late. And can you please share the recorded? And this is not an acceptable request always. Please make sure any professional in every webinars when you are attending, make sure to have good internet facilities. This is one of your obligation. Then Pawan, completed BE Engineering 2011, MS Ramaya College, Bangalore, and pursuing career in construction industry from the more than 10 years. You will apply for the preliminary assessment route. So guys, I believe once you receive this presentation slides, you all come to know very clearly which route you are applicable, because I explained very clearly. Maybe internet problems, I think that's why you're asking repeatedly the same questions. And for this preliminary assessment route, since 15th August, you have to enroll, and submissions 20th October, and interview will be March 2024. So AIMS, we start in June 11th, next month, a new batch, and we will support all the candidates to explain this process once again, and we'll support up to the enrollment process. And also, if you don't have counselors, also I can ask my previous successful people to act as a counselors, and how to write case studies, CPD record, summary of experience, everything we train. And also we'll provide complete guidance on the competencies, study materials, and preparing for interview, and speaking skills, writing skills. This complete comprehensive program AIMS has developed. I will explain about AIMS program at the last part of my presentation today. Please wait up to the end. There's one more question by Chandran, completed BTech Civil Engineering, experience both roads and having 4.5 years experience. So better I recommend you go for a SOCAR SES. So guys, this is called preliminary route assessment. Majority of you belongs to this route. Second one of the gentlemen, he asked me just now about accredited degree. If you have accredited degree, more than 10 years of experience, just like one of the gentlemen has MSc from Heriot-Watt University in Dubai, or maybe he has to apply just like other candidates by 15th of July, because I did not give you up to August. I told you have to do early, and you have to submit your documents by September, and September itself you are submitting as a final submissions, and interview will be October 2023. That means hardly within 6 months you can complete your journey. But in case if you are working in Middle East, and this schedule is not applicable for the people. Guys, it's very strict in RICS nowadays. If anybody working in Middle East, and they cannot apply in India. And only people who are working in India, they can apply India. Even AIMS also, if you are working in India, you have to join India program. India fees different. And if you are working in Middle East fees are different. Middle East batch timings are different. So this is about 2 flow charts. It's very self-explanatory. You can go through. If anybody in this room from RICS, SBE, MIT University students who has passed earlier, who has less than 10 years of experience and stay back up to end, I have lost presentation slides. I can show them how they can do that. The only difference is they cannot apply immediately. They have to take 1 year structure training if they belongs to grad 2, between 5 to 10 years experience. If they have 0 to 5 years of experience, they have to take 24 months, that is 2 years structure training. So if anybody from RICS, MIT of this candidates, stay back up to end. So guys, now I'm entering into the very important area that is called competencies. So once you enroll, you should understand the competencies guide. This is called Quantity Surveying Competency Guide, August 2018. So this competency guide explains clearly how to prepare for competencies. Competence meaning is basically is about your experience, what you have based on your educational qualification and what type of knowledge you enriched, then skills what you attained, and apart from that, your right behavior. Yeah. If you have experience more than 20 years, but you don't know how to respect others, the qualification I can say below is called useless. And also the behavior point of view in terms of how to understand the clients. Because in the today industry, clients wants a very good consultants. And also your performance is very important. That's why the meaning of competence, essentially from the industry, is not only your ability or aptitude. Ability is generally, example, you're working as a QS with a cost consultancy. And you're preparing bill of quantities and payment application certificates. That means you have ability and up to there your aptitude, but you don't have maybe capability to handle the client directly. That's what a competency cannot be attained in a short amount of time. You require a mentor or a process or a structured training is required to understand the process. So that's why in India, experience what you are having today in the industry, it is called multitask management skills. Underline, it is called multitask management skills you all have. That is a worldwide, especially Indians are being, so South Asians, especially from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all the people, our industries are, they give a job title one, they'll ask you to do the several jobs. You do the multitasking management, but your accountability and responsibility is somewhat restricted to some areas. But in overseas jobs, it's entirely different. Overseas jobs are entirely different. If they give a precise job, they will expect high competency from you. That's why competency definition, which I explained, I hope you all can clear from your understanding. Neeraj Kumar, if someone is currently doing a job in India, apply MRICS, after he got a job in Middle East, what should he do then? You have to enroll first in India better. Once you move to Middle East, for example, then they will shift your account to Middle East. Even AIMS also will shift your account from India to Middle East, will do that. And at the same time, if you attend interviews, if you are working in India now, in the future, you can attend if you register in India, you can attend the interview from anywhere in the world. Yeah. So the competencies when you are learning, there are 3 levels. One is called level 1, knowledge and understanding. Level 2, practical experience. Level 3, advisory level. Level 1 means, what do you mean by contract? Level 2 means, what type of contract you are administrating. Level 3 means, what type of a FDIC forms of contract is suitable for each package of the mixed use development project. Yeah, when we can use red book, when we can use silver book, for what type of books are suitable for conditions for contract for design build projects. Such an advisory level is called level 3. So what RACS has given, especially this is called one of the core competencies list for the QS pathway. Left hand side, you can see the first column, this 11. Generally, competencies are not subjects. In syllabus, what you study in engineering, example, strength of materials. Yeah. And also in engineering, you might have studied, structural analysis. They are called subjects. But here, they are not subjects, competences. Competences means, if you start reading level 3, ethics, rule of conduct, and also professionalism is one of the level 3 competency, advisory level. Then second competency, level 2, they are speaking about the client care and also communication negotiation, health and safety. Level 1, they give an accounting principles and procedures, business planning, conflict avoidance and dispute resolution management, data management, diversity, inclusion and team working, inclusive environments, and sustainability. So, example, if I speak about communication negotiation, majority of you know very well, you know what you are communicating. But importantly, when it comes to the interview level, assessors may ask you a question, the interviewers. What type of communication skills that you are aware of it? Maybe you have to develop your structured answer, and also you should speak with clarity, conciseness, and using the concrete words, and you should demonstrate your application level. That's why by seeing the competency name, don't underestimate it. Because in our learning process, we know effective communication versus efficient communication. Especially in India, when I am dealing with many professionals today, you're all looking for anything as quick as possible. But sometimes you require in a structured way, effective way, you have to learn. So that's why during my lectures, when I am teaching about this competency, it's not about what RIC is provided. I give them complete guidance to the people in a structured way, in a detailed way. So let me see here. I will do one small activity, and I required anyone from this particular audience. Maybe I can request any one audience can participate who has good cam and good mic without any noise around. Maybe I think Mr. Praveen, I think from Hyderabad, you participated earlier. Can you please participate now? If you have, may I request you? Or any one person, can you please participate? I will show an activity for you to understand competence. Good morning. I think people got sleep with my nice voice and people are getting, all right. Mr. Pradeep, can you please participate through cam if it is possible? Example, in my mind, 25 years of experience. So many people data. I'm going to Cairo next week. Okay, I have example 3,000 people case studies in my brain, but still in this current presentation, within 1 minute, I listened to Pradeep. I explained about him within again another 2 minutes. It's only because of focus, attention, care, and responsibility. That is called a true professionalism, how you need to acquire and develop. If it is possible to me, it is possible for you also. That's why in our AIMS programs, we do this type of activities, and also we develop the people to the required level. That's why in the mandatory competencies, don't underestimate. Many people think that you know everything. At the end of the day, you may not be knowing everything. That's why learning is always a process. When it comes to the core competencies, they're given for QS, commercial management, construction technology, contract practice, procurement tendering, project finance, and quantification and costing. So these competencies are basically called managements. And many people in India, when you are working in the industries, you know what you are doing, but you also should know what the professions and professionals they are doing. These all managements. If I say, for example, if I am conducting one course called contracts management, everybody look at, wow, contracts management. But today, these expectations of RICs is about all managements you have to learn at a managerial level. That's what commercial manager, commercial management. Design economics and cost planning means cost manager, who prepares the cost plans. Construction technology and environmental services, construction manager, project manager. Contract practice means contracts manager. Procurement manager, tendering manager, project finance control manager, and also managing QS. So the practices and standards, when you are learning these particular competencies by yourself, your knowledge is limited. And also some of you have very good aspirations and dreams to work in the international projects in the future. So here I want to say some story here. Everybody try to understand why I'm doing these courses for professionals in India. There are two aspects. One aspect is one young QS who invited me several times to do the programs in India. The boy, he was working with CBRE earlier as a QS in Chennai. I started this course. Then I started explaining to him why you joined my program, because at the time he was the first guy who paid 50,000 rupees and joined the program. In Bangalore, IBS Hotel, when I am training him, he said, I want to learn, I want to develop international knowledge, Then I want to go to the foreign countries to work in the various big companies. Then I said, it is possible. Then my experience, whatever I learned in India, Malaysia, and also Dubai, I make always like a practical exercise, just like how I trained Pradeep today. I trained him for 1 year. Then during the training, he changed his job from CBRE to the another company. At that time, he did not finish his MRICS. The moment once he moved from that company to another cost consultancy, back from Chennai to Hyderabad, he grown as a very good professional and he learned this one, he applied in the company. His writing skills been improved, his communication skills improved, his courage to act with integrity with various professionals. With one jump, he got that 50,000 back as an increment in his salary. That's what the competence when being driven. That means still without MRICS, in the first step, he achieved that. Once he got the 50,000 high, that means his investment 50,000 times and he got 6 lakhs hike in a year overall. That means 5.5 lakhs profit, then the investment plus the progression not stopped at that point, guys. Thereafter, he told me, sir, I will now prepare for MRICS, and he cracked his MRICS in the first attempt within the 1.5 year time. Once he got that MRICS, I had seen him as true professional. Then he became a senior QS in the same consultancy. Again, he got hike in Hyderabad. And the same young boy today is already reaching to the associate director level within 2.5 years journey. That's called a competence being driven. And now he called me last week. He said, I am not going to work in any Middle East, sir. In Hyderabad itself, the same consultancy where I am working now, my company recognized me as an associate director. And in India itself, I am going to develop my career. I'm damn sure within the next another 5 years, he will start his own consultancy. That's the real power of when aspiration reaches to the inspiration, inspiration reaches to the motivation, and success should speak. Recently, when I came to Hyderabad, I felicitated him. And the same young boy, he speak along with me on the stage. That's a real competence. Speaking is so passionate for Ramesh, but my mentee is shared my podium, and he proven his abilities to the capability level. That's why all these managements I incorporated in the program, and to give the inner insights within India practices plus international practices. There was a saying, learn global, apply local. Then the results are tremendous. So these core competencies, whatever they expect at level 3, sometime in India, you may not get the exposure to understand the contractual procedures, claims, etc. So as an APC candidate, you have to take all the mandatory competencies 11, core competencies 6 at level 3, advisory level, and optional competencies you have to do any 2. But in this optional, in AIMS, I incorporated only 4 competencies because out of 4, you can choose any 2. Total, how many competencies? 11 plus 6, 17 plus 2. Sorry, 11 plus 6, 17 plus 2, 19 competencies you have to prepare for QS pathway. So when you talk about the mandatory competencies, it is about your essential skills, what you require to grow. It's related to the business. So first you improve your soft skills. Once you improve your soft skills, you will get a courage to speak to your CEO or to your vice president, or even you can go and talk to the managing director. Here I need to share one small story, what happened while I was working in Dubai, my previous employment, before I start AIMS as an entrepreneur. While I was working in Dubai, one of the engineering consultancy, I deployed at airport projects as a senior contracts manager. My colleagues, approximately around 30 people were working as a same position. Everybody, morning we go to office, morning one punch, afternoon one lunch, evening one punch, come back home, we don't know who will punch us. Out of 25 contracts professionals, Ramesh thoughts in a different way as a business acumen professional. One fine day, I took the appointment of my managing director. And he asked me, why you are leaving the project sites, why you are coming, why you want to come and meet me? I told him, dear MD, I have business acumen skills of what I want to sell you. Give me an appointment of 1 hour. I will explain what I can mentor our team now. More than 45 contracts and QS professionals don't have chartership. I have the expertise. I will train free. I will train free on weekends. I want to contribute my services to the company. I given a business plan to him. With that, you will get minimum 1.5 million additional fee of dirhams. 1.5 million dirhams means approximately 3 crores. 3 crores per month, you will get additional fees money. Would you like to use this opportunity? That MD is also engineer. You know, first question what he asked me, what do you expect by doing this? I said nothing. Being in this company, you are giving me good opportunity to grow. Really, I grown in the company. Example, around 7 lakhs per month was my salary when I joined in that company per month, Indian rupees. I reached to 10 lakhs per month salary as a senior contracts manager. You know the true thing? While I was working, I know that company, what business they are doing on me. They are paying me only 10 lakhs per month, but they are earning 20 lakhs. They're earning 20 lakhs on my top of my head. That means I should know how to do my business. Otherwise, somebody will do a business on me. I accepted. I told, please understand, if you want, I can add the value. Maybe as an employee, at that time, I may expect maybe 1 lakh additional increment. That's true. They used to pay every year 1 lakh increment. So that MD did not accept that. Why? He asked me, Ramesh, you are training, our staff will get these qualifications and certifications. After that, they will leave. It's called lean thinking. Second thing he told me, every year we have to pay the fees to that. I said, you are paying chocolates, but you're getting cake. Don't you understand? He said, no, Ramesh. In this story, I applied my personal, interpersonal, professional practice, business communication skills before I become an entrepreneur. That point I realized the industry is industry. Every engineer wants to become top level. Also, they think like an engineer. You know the funny story, what happened? After the few years I resigned, I started my own company. And once I started AIMS as a company, whatever the 40 people I expected to whom I trained free, out of the 15 people, they came and joined AIMS and they paid the money, I got the income. And that 15 people, after once they got chartership, they resigned in that companies. Really, they left. That means the companies, if they don't train internally, at one point of time, they will leave. Whether you train or whether you don't train, people leave. So this is a summary for senior professionals in this room. So from this story, what I want to derive, at any time, a professional development, it always enhances your career development. Moreover, the story never stops. One of the senior director in the same company, he challenged me, Ramesh, without MRICS also I can survive in the industry because I am working at a senior level. He also joined my program after a few years. And last month he lost the job. And because he has MRICS, I put him in another company. And today he's working as again associate director with one more cost consultancy. In this story, you all have to learn two things. Whenever you got certifications, you always will be in the professional network. Network is equal to network. Unless the director, he don't join with me, he doesn't have professional network. That's why majority of us, we always confine to the jobs. Yeah, today I know it's Sunday, right? Already time in India, 11:30. Yeah, maybe a nice chicken biryani smell is coming from kitchen. I know some people already ready to go to the kitchen shop, I'm sorry, fish, etc. That's really Sunday in India. You're all busy. Even I was also like that in India before. So the fact is, you are utilizing the time today to learn not only competencies, the true success stories in the life, how they have to do that. That's why this management competence is also I converted into the common employability skills. What do you mean by common employability skills? As an example, today I picked Mr. Pradeep. I demonstrated that he really doesn't know about him. See, this is the true sad stories in any engineer's lives. 90% of you don't know about you. You try to learn about you, because whenever you go for a job interview, the first question is, yeah, we saw your CV, Mr. Pradeep. Can you please tell me about you? You know, the one of the important person in the interview, HR persons, they look at you, what you speak in the first 2 minutes. If you are struggling to speak with your ineffective communication skills, thereafter project director and contracts manager who select you, technically you are qualified, but the HR, they picked that you don't have effective communication skills. That's the point. You cannot speak with HR properly to bargain or to negotiate. By chance you created a first impression. The way I spoke, Mr. Pradeep could have spoke. Then HR cannot speak with you anything, because technical tick. Even the technical guys who did the interview for you, they also communicate like you maybe. Yeah. And maybe you are average and they may be good or happy. But here, HR, they negotiate based on your communication skills. That's why, what are the common employability skills if you want to grow in the career as an employee? Your personal skills, people skills, workplace skills, and applied knowledge skills. Here, I need to share one small story about how do I apply my management competency skills in my real life. In one point in Dubai Sheikh's Mohammed office, there is a semi-government job. There is a senior QS position was, available. I applied in 2011. When I attended the interview, one of the senior most project directors and who generally interview the people, and he and also HR director, and plus one more British, one of the project management consultancy director, 3 people interviewed me. They called me for a senior QS and they interviewed me 20 minutes. I interviewed them 40 minutes after interview. Only 20 minutes they interviewed me. They asked me, Ramesh, yeah, we saw that you are currently working with Davis Langdon, nice cost consulting company. You are working with a big project like 7-star hospital. We understand your capability, so you are fit for this job. And they decided. But at the time, I applied my common employability skills. I started asking him, if you don't mind, guys, I would like to ask you why your company has a bit of different reputation in the industry. Why you have a policy of hire and fire. And also, I heard about your company in the industry. If I want to join your company, do you have any mentoring policies in the organization? They asked me, what do you mean by mentoring area? I said, I am not only engineer, I am not only manager, I can mentor the people. They said, is it so? What is the value addition you can do that? That means the preparation of my interview is not only to speak about my self-introduction, because speaking is so easy for me. I have a lot of practice, but I sold out myself as a managerial level. What the change I can bring into the company. Within the 20 minutes their interview, 40 minutes my interview, they listen to me. The 1 hour interview, the result, what happened? I applied for senior case. They offered me contracts manager. And I expected a job salary of approximately at that time is around 5 lakhs per month. They offered me 8 lakhs per month. Yeah. And also they offered me complete educational facilities to my son and all the facilities to family. And I got a nice job. That is the step in area how you can apply your mandatory competency skills in the real life. That's what engineering technical skills, that's called hard skills plus soft skills. That's the first step. The story is not at end. Story is not at end. I joined in that company. And second instant, after 7 months, one of the Bulgarian nationality operational director, she was sick, and I supposed to present on behalf of her one of our operational strategy of the department. Generally, I prepare everything. She present on behalf of me because she's a designated director. I got an opportunity in the semi-government organization to speak in front of CEO and also one of the Sheikh Mohammed representative. They all saw my presentation skills of one of the project strategy, which is required for internal organization. With that presentation, they got an idea because they are in the verge of shifting my operational director to one of the another sister concern company as a director. That means the position is vacant. They put me as acting head of procurement. Again, under 2 lakhs hike. So in these two small stories, what you all have to learn, your personal skills not only sufficient, people skills are important. Opportunity never strikes. When it comes, use your competence. In these two examples, it changed the life. So that's why workplace skills, what we do today in the industry, whether it's in India or Middle East or America, anywhere in the world, try to apply your common sense skills. Currently, the job industry in the worldwide, all the people are doing temporarily permanent job and permanently temporary job. I repeat it. Temporarily permanent job you are doing today and permanently temporary jobs you are doing. The only job you can do once you establish your own vision and own company. That's what happening to me today. I came to Dubai with shivering hands, whether how long this visa will be there in my hands. But today, I own my own visa. Why I'm sharing these success stories? Because the mandatory competencies when you are learning in the industry, each one is a management skill. Example, accounting principles and procedures. They asked you for level 1 to learn. When I was passing APC, I learned about how to prepare a financial statements theory. But today in Dubai for my company, I pay VAT. Yeah. Approximately last year, I paid a VAT of 26 lakhs Indian rupees. Can you believe in the business? 26 lakhs only VAT. And when you talk about India, whatever business I do, GST we have to pay. Yeah. And not only GST, income tax we have to pay. I am an engineer, but learn competency skills. Not only for theory, practically we have to do that. That's why they kept this management competencies to you, to understand, to learn. That's why in AIMS program, I teach all these competencies to the required level. So apart from these examples, let's talk about one of the competency called contract practice. Contract practice competency, RAS is given one sheet like this. I read these 3 lines. This competency covers the various forms of contract used in the construction industry, including all of the main standard forms of contract and a thorough understanding of contract law, legislation, and the specific forms that they have used. These 3 lines written by somebody in UK, native speakers who studied the BSc Quantity Surveying proper. But a person from India as an engineer, whatever they studied, BN Datta, estimation and costing and contracts, one subject, you remember final year engineering? This much of big book. What knowledge we can compare with this? Various forms of contracts means conditions of contract. In the construction industry, in India, you have private projects, government projects, and also semi-government projects. And starting from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, so many projects, they use different forms of contracts. Example, government projects like R&B, roads and buildings, CPWD, national highways. Every client, they use their own forms of conditions of contract. If you talk about a private developers, every private developer, they have their own forms of contracts. If I talk about Mumbai, Oberoi Group, whatever the conditions they follow for luxury projects. If I go to Hyderabad, Aparna Constructions developer, they follow different traditional contracts. And apart from that, main standard forms of contract across the world. Across the world, if you consider example, FDIC forms of contracts in Middle East. In case of UK, they follow various JCT, NEC, ICAM, IMEC, ICE, the various conditions of contracts. So, but you are working in India, at least in India, what are the various other conditions of contract you are familiar? And also thorough understanding of contract law. Contract law, if you refer in India, that reflecting to Indian Contract Act 1872, thereafter the various definitions, whatever they provide. When they talk about Indian Contract Act, they define agreement is different than the contract. Agreement is formulating with a consideration after the promise. And the promise is starting with the concept of offer and acceptance. See, offer by the contractor, accepted by the client, that's coming to a promise. Adding the consideration to that, that is formulating an agreement. Agreement plus legal enforceability, if you add, that comes to the contract. That's how they defined in 1872 until now. The British, when they developed this contract law for us. That's why whatever they write, global standards is also available in India. Don't underestimate in Indian contract laws. Apart from that, legislation rules. If any legislation changes, how does it affect the contracts and consequent effects of the time and cost on the contractors and subcontractors. Thus, by these 3 lines, I can generate 50 questions from these 3 lines as an experienced assessor. That can be helpful for job interviews also to you. I know some of you are India aspirants group, which I created. I shared several important books for you. Yeah. By the way, you're all getting nice books also by WeTransfer. That's why this one page, RIS is given level 1, level 2, level 3, written by professionals in UK and interpreted by an Indian assessors. That too, you are a different professional. If you don't understand the gap between these two, it's very difficult for you to face the interviews. You will not get a confidence how to prepare. In recent past, after I started in AIMS last 2.5 years, nowadays I can see some small, I can say a few people who doesn't have any assessment experience. They're diluting this program also. That's why anytime when you are learning, learn from practitioners and also learn from the experienced assessors. That will be helpful for APC interviews. Plus, you can strike your goal anywhere in the job interviews also. So that's why one page, I speak around 3 hours by providing very good important knowledge like this. Example, you are not aware of the FIDIC forms of the contracts. But assessors may ask your knowledge on the international forms. In what circumstances we use a red book? When traditional contracts, when employer is doing the design. In case if the contract is doing the design, yellow, where contract to the only plant and design. Gold, operational activity. In case of silver, EPC is only for engineering, procurement, and construction. Especially in the Middle East oil and gas projects, majority they use the derived conditions from EPC. So in what circumstances we use short form of contract, green color book, when there is no involvement of the engineer for the straightforward projects. That's why there are various aspects I speak in my competency lectures to get the knowledge of contracts management when I speak about contract practice. Commercial management when we speak about commercial management competency. So like this, you will get the very good exposures in terms of the skills, knowledge, and the other processes. That's why, in case if you are interested to learn these competencies from AIMS, we are there to support you. And of course, I am there to support you, all of you, not only knowledge, skills, books, reference, and guidance. The same if I apply to the project management competencies. Some of the team members, they asked me today, how I can become from planning engineer to project manager. As an example, as a planning engineer, your progression can be planning manager, but you cannot become project manager unless you understand these competencies. So here, mandatory common. Core also majority competencies similar to QS, except 3 extra. One is called development and project brief, leading projects, managing the projects. So in AIMS, what I do, mandatory since it's a common. Core also, some mixed competencies are common. Then optional, I take BIM management, commercial, consultancy services, and contract administration. So here PM pathway required 11 plus here 8 plus here 2. Total 21 competencies you required to prepare. That's why I have provided here comparison between QS and PM. The yellow, both sides, both are mandatory competencies common. Here the green, here the 6 for core, and here 8 for PM pathway. Then blue, it's the optional competencies. So first what I do, I will cover all 21 QS competencies, plus additionally the star mark here, whatever I given PM, which are not part of QS. That means total 27 competencies. Because in India, an engineer should be sharpen his skills both the sides, QS and PM, because that's the future. That's why in AIMS, what I did is, whether you join for QS pathway or PM pathway, you will get the both competencies knowledge. That's why I designed now 100 hours program as compared to previous is only 50 hours. Lucky that in India, still we did not increase the fees. This batch, our fees still as a previous batch. 2024, this course will be very expensive in India as well. When it comes to PMP versus MRICS, in case of PMP, they have the knowledge up to all technical knowledge only. And they don't check your assessment skills on writing skills to draft 8,500 words. And also professional practice skills and presentation skills. And 1 hour interview skills. These are all were not tested in the PMP. That's why PMP is only technical assessment, not the professional assessment. I mentored out of, I think in my career, more than 600 PMP holders in Middle East. When they join the program, they say, Ramesh, I have PMP, I know everything. They slowly start understanding, they realize, no, professional practice skills are entirely different. Now I need to come back to India now as an example. India is a practical country. I've been to some companies in my visits in Bangalore and also in Mumbai, in Delhi. So in India, majority of the companies, they are aware of the PMP and they are valuing the PMP also. That's why if in case if you are having already PMP, try to sell out properly because in India there's a value for PMP. When it comes to MRICS, the value creation only depends on a person who demonstrates it. As an example, today, I have teaching experience more than 20 years. Don't expect that other MRICS or FRSS can speak like me because I have practice, they don't have practice. Similarly, MRICS practice is not well demonstrated in India is because of the people who got this, they may not demonstrate. But if you go to UK or when you're working in Middle East, entirely different. That's why I remember one time when I'm giving a presentation of introductory in Dubai, one guy who got this MRICS in India from Bangalore, from Shobha Group, he came to Shobha Group in Dubai. Then when he attended my session, he said, sir, I understand entire process is different. That was around 7 years back. But today, I feel proud. In India, APC assessment process is going absolutely similar to in Middle East. That's why don't underestimate the process of APC in India now and enrichment of the skills as well. So when you join AIMS, for example, the enrollment stage, you may have so many questions. From this, building the competence is not our counselor responsibility. It is your own responsibility. If you don't have an access to your company in an appropriate learning environment, only doing valuations, that means payment applications, running account bills, variations, that alone is not sufficient to come as a true professional to the client. That's why from this stage to this stage, to bring, I need to build your competence, completing your written submissions, to guide you on effective writing skills, plus we'll also review and will help you to the right direction. Once you're done, for final entry. That's why the overall submissions, what I explained, one is called case study, 3,000 words you have to draft. Summary of experience, you have to draft 4,000 words on the total 19 competencies for QS pathway, PM pathway 21 competencies. We guide clearly in my sessions all the skills. CPD, 48 hours you required. Today you're all getting 2 hours of the CPD. I'm giving a certificate to all of you. Out of 48, you got already 2. And also we'll guide how to attend the ethics test also. After you attend my lecture of ethics, you will clearly understand how to clear it. That's why in this process, you have to develop 8,500 words writing skills capability, 10 minutes presentation skills capability. 10 minutes means somebody in this room may think, hey, only 10 minutes. Yeah, I can do. Because in my office, I speak every day, morning to evening, so many hours. But here, it's not about what the way you speak. Example, you might have seen one activity, what we did. One candidate did explain about himself is only hardly 10 seconds. 10 minutes means, do you know how many seconds? 600 seconds. As an example, I'm speaking almost more than 2.5 hours, right? Do you know how many seconds I'm speaking? That's what the speaking ability. They will test in the interview 10 hours. How do you present in effective way? That also will be trained under the aims. And interview skills, how to understand questions, how to represent. So far in India, whatever the numbers I am sending, especially from our structure training, only I believe 3 or 4 people only referred so far out of 40. Maximum 90%, 95% people are getting pass because of the structure training. So case study, when you draft, it will be a format like this, is a word format. A topic you have to select last 24 months topic, a critical issue, what happened. That should be reflecting to your competencies technical, maximum 3,000 words. Then summary of experience when you draft, there are different levels. Each competency you have to understand and write level 1 knowledge what you have, level 2 application, level 3 advisor. And these are the word count limits which I explained earlier. CPD, total 48 hours you have to gain, which is a combination of professional practice skills, personal skills, and also technical skills. With this contribution, when you learn this 48 hours, you should demonstrate in the interview. And also will guide you how to write ethics module test. We'll share some model question and papers, plus we'll guide you. Somebody asked me how this interview can happen 1 hour. First chairman, they will call you for meeting room and first introduction. You have to present your case study 10 minutes. After you present case study 10 minutes, then they will ask you questions on your whatever topic you have taken. Example, your case study is related to the termination of the project. After that, what are the commercial challenges that you have faced? That presentation, you have to speak nicely 10 minutes. Then they will start asking you questions on various areas. Then thereafter the 40 minutes, they will ask you questions on the entire competencies, technical, optional, mandatory. So the 60 minutes, in the real time when you attend interview, it looks like 3 hours. It looks like 3 hours, very tough. Yeah. But anyhow, when we train, when we conduct a mock interview, then easily you will understand the process, how to strike your goal perfectly. In case if anyone has any aspirations to go to Australia, Australian Institute of Quantity Surveyors also provide us some competency standards. Their competency framework is like this. One is design economics and cost planning, procurement, and contract administration. So our program, what we design aims, it can be fit for any type of APCs you go. Even if you go to New Zealand, Canada, Australia, any country, the guidance and knowledge what we give with the books, it can be helpful to the any area. MAIQS interviews are basically 40 minutes maximum. And this covers the only presentation skills and as well as the competencies knowledge. MAIQS doesn't require any submissions, only your experience and your CV. But this process, MAIQS qualifications are a bit different. It's not flexible like RICS. Yeah, if anybody interested in MAIQS, you can send your CVs. Then I can send to RICS, MAIQS committee board. I'm also one of the committee member of in Dubai. So in this process, what you have to do? Definitely you have to start reading some books along with the practice and guidance. In AIMS, I will provide one exclusive study folder which contains the all foundation course of QS practices, advanced course, also College of Estate Management materials, plus RICS Black Book guidance. Everything I put a competency wise, I will give as a gift to all my candidates. It's approximately worth of more than $1,000. And also in the process of APC, just like how I guided one of our team members, how to use right buzzwords. Yeah, right buzzwords means anything you speak to the persons, easy to understand. As an example, if I say one buzzword to you, guys, you are looking for some jobs, right? It looks like your current company looks like a known devil. And you're expecting a new company is called unknown angel. See, when I'm using some buzzwords, how you are attracting towards that. Similarly, in the APC, When they ask you a question related to what do you mean by contract, then you have to start explaining like earlier what I said. A contract is formulating between the two parties offer and acceptance. So such a buzzwords you have to learn in the process of this learning will train you. That's why in the process of success is always comes from not only knowledge and experience, it comes from common sense. That's what it builds your confidence. RACS, they given, why to join RACS, one word, they given several points here. Maybe you all like one of the point, is it Ramesh possible of increased earning potential? Definitely everybody wants hike in the jobs. That means you want to change, right? You want change in your career. But remember, we don't like to involve or invest our time and of course a small money to bring a change in your skills. That's why we stagnate at one point always. We look for something to come by luck or by incidentally. It never happens. Professionalism cannot be developed by luck or by somebody to impart. I can give a book to you. I can give a book to you. If you buy a book today, a leadership book, you will study, you will spend 1,000 rupees, and you will do that, understand that book, whatever you read, understand, only 1,000. But if I study one book of leadership, 1,000 rupees if I spend, I know how to make 1 crore with that. No investment. Study, understand, put into practice, apply, mentor the people. That's the excellence what I achieved. That's why a lot of technical skills, plus professional practice skills, plus useful lifetime skills you have to learn. That's why increased earning potential depends on, trust me, I got MRICS certificate, but RACS did not train me. RACS did not train me. I trained myself. Why? But RACS has given me a direction. RACS has given me direction to think. But example, in 2008, I got MRICS. At that time, business planning, it was my learning, 2008. When I established a company in 2015, after 7 years, it is a practice. That's why anything what you learn, these all can be possible when you put into practice. That's why once you attain professionalism, confidence is your backbone. That's why sometime I think 17 years back, I came with one bag, my engineering degree certificate, with a lot of fear how to survive here in Dubai. Example, if I want to come back to India as an example, as my final, what should I carry with me? Maybe at the maximum 2 bags, right? Because Emirates flight maximum 30 kilos. So I may carry my certificates. I have in my file. I never seen my FRAC certificate last 7 years. But only thing, you should always carry the self-confidence. Yeah, self-confidence. As an example, today, as a global Indian, tomorrow night I am flying to Cairo, Egypt, unknown place. I never been. I studied about pyramids in my childhood. But now, when I'm traveling that place, only I'm going with confidence. One of the biggest cost consulting company, DG Jones, country director to the staff, everybody joined AIMS, and now they are welcoming with red carpet. The reason because learnings. Yeah, learnings. That's why, guys, every time when you are involving, even sometimes I feel when I'm coming to India, when I'm doing events, my so-called Indian brothers, nobody helps me. Nobody asks me, Ramesh, do you want any help? Yeah, I came to Mumbai, I did everything by myself event. But in Cairo today, 7 people, Egyptians, they are working for me now. They're arranging everything now. Why? Because that's the need of professional development. That's the need of industry needs. Because they know the value of mentoring, what they got it. One of the QS, one girl, she joined. After getting MRICS, you know how many hikes she got it? Within 1 year, she became head of QS. So that's why in the industry, what I did, I want to show you for another 5 to 10 minutes. I am sorry for increasing the time of session to another 10 minutes. Up to now, I explained all the facts, storytelling, because it's very important in the industry to learn. aims meant for motivation. The success what we achieved is a small. Success what you have to achieve is a big. Only the difference between you and me, I can act as a mentor for you, but I don't have mentor behind in my life. Only thing is self-aspiration values. And there are one or two candidates are hands raising. Can you allow me for another 10 minutes? After that, I will speak with you. AIMS website, please go through. We'll share. And my team members, some of the people are attending. Can you type our website, Ashi, in the chat box? This website, if you look at, we are currently doing APC program, and also we are starting corporate trainings. In India, we started recently with some CBRE and WTP and different companies. And also we are doing certain future CPD trainings in India. And also RCCP, it is called Recruitment Consultancy, also July we are starting. So all my AIMS members will be the first priority, definitely, because I know what I am mentoring. The future 2024 can be a bright year for all of us. So various success stories, I put in this particular testimonials in my website. Even one Sri Lankan boy, Asmi Sharif, he also learned from us, and now he has also started mentoring the people. So that's why in the industry, so many junior professionals started, but remember, they may not have sufficient experience to mentor without having assessments experience. In India also, some of the young professionals, they started making like, coaching centers, but try to understand, you all should learn from practitioners and also successful history, what the people said. Then that's your real inspiration, what you can get it. So when I want to share here several success stories, even when I mentored Mr. Venkat, earlier he was the senior commercial manager. Today he's a great trainer in India. Even Praveen Pai, earlier he was a managing QS. Today he's the MR senior commercial manager. Yeah, all the young professionals, when they joined with us, various international national professionals, Malaysians, Sri Lankans, Indians, 37 nationalities approximately, been successful in India, in AIMS, India plus Middle East. When you look at here, several professionals, I don't have 320 pictures. These are only 80 pictures now. See the bright professionals, how they learn and how they become mentors, entrepreneurs. So in Dubai, when we do any success celebration, I don't have sufficient hotels now. I want big hotels, biggest hotels, because such many members, they've been successful. Even the girl who is at the center, Bilna Sandeep, she attended my sessions. Now she's from Kerala. Today she's an entrepreneur in Dubai. She took my footprints and then she's growing. She developed a big network and also doing fantastic things. So something like Ashok RSS candidates, even Miss Bharati, she attended in Dubai, Punjabi, she's from Punjab. 1 year experience, she got Ashok RSS, then flew to Canada. Now she's a good position in Turner & Townsend, one of the nice company. And growing to the MRICS, the last week, she completed MRICS also. That means the knowledge, one time if you learn and study material what you have, anywhere in the world, Ramesh is no more required. You can make it happen in your lives. Similarly, the other professionals worldwide, this was my 2 years back when I groomed the people. Example, this central one, one of the young boy from RISS MET. He took our mentorship and within 2 years, he's become one of the senior commercial manager now in Dubai, one of the biggest company. So that's why the true professionalism, we encourage women in the construction, all the professionals, whatever they enrich. And this company established by my wife, who's with Sari at the center. Her name is Rekha Swati, and she's my company's operational director today. And she develops the various company policies, procedures, and also she's one of my partner and director in Back to India company. We, as a family, we committed to help the next generations. We happily do the service. These are the various testimonials given by various other professionals from other industries and from different elements. So what we provided here is an excellent history, what we said. And this was my 2019 before COVID, what I operated. And you all please add AIMS LinkedIn page. I think Ashi, can you please type the LinkedIn page in the chat box? Everybody can access AIMS LinkedIn page. Follow that and also add my name. In the future, you will get this type of lot of free CPDs. So apart from this, in India, also people, what they got success, today they are doing a fantastic in their careers. And so many success stories we have seen both in Middle East and also from India. This been published on the LinkedIn and also other areas. The only point here I want to tell, the last advice to all of you, if you want to become an extraordinary person in the career, extra plus ordinary is equal to extraordinary. That's very important. Extra efforts is important. In my opinion, if you spend extra time, of course, a small amount of money, that makes you to know how to, you can sell your time to the industry. That's what consultants are selling, only time. So this is my program. In India, you will get 60 to 50 to 60 hours CPD certificate, materials, plus all these benefits. So start with effective writing skills, presentation skills, plus experience and knowledge, plus professionalism and confidence. This program supposed to be a worth of, just like RICS, what they charge in India, 2 lakhs, but we are providing worth of 60,000, including everything what we said. Early bird will get a discount of 5,000. This is MRICS fees. Ashok RICS fees is 45,000, plus this after the discount 40,000. My team members will send you all these benefits and details and also presentation slides plus calendar. Next batch is starting from 11th June, and we provide, after once you pass, we'll give you the right question and answer guides and also effective writing skills program. It is also worth of 50,000 rupees in British Council in India. My trainers, they did a research here in Dubai. They will provide 10 hours of the, I think to 14 hours we increase it now. That skills will help you and your network will be built across the GCC countries and also back to India. So my vision by 2025, all these metros in India should have CPD events to be conducted every month. You all have to learn and be as the next generation. I want to just initiate because I'm just nearly to the retirement. You all being young professionals, if you like my vision, be part of our India WhatsApp groups and share your experiences. We are not charging today any fees. Pop into the LinkedIn and see our post, what we are posting. If you don't want to join, no problem. At least share with other professionals who want to enrich, and program will change your lives. This is the 100 hours program, which consists of all the elements which I told earlier. Guidance on enrollment to until completion of WSP program, 15 hours free, 27 competencies knowledge, plus books, plus effective presentation skills. This program brochure is available on our website. Download. You will get complete idea how this program helps you. And at the end of the day, you all get the technical skills, soft skills, plus effective writing skills, plus presentation skills, plus at the end of the day, success and confidence. So this was my previous batch calendar. I'm sorry for the dates. I will revise it. I will send you by today evening. The session starts with the 1, 2 until 17, explaining all competencies. Plus the session's timings mostly afternoon 3 to 6 or sometime nights 8 to 10 India time. This has 3 phases. In 3 phases, we'll mentor you until you complete the program. So this is in my website. All the blogs and downloads are available in the LinkedIn. Go through that, be with our network. You will get in the future a lot of CPDs. In the future, whenever I'm conducting in June or July, we do in Chennai and Cochin. Please try to attend the events and try to support us. We'll help our next generations. Yeah. In the life, remember 2 things. We all came to this world as alone. We also live alone. In between, leave your footprint on the world and create and help others. That's why, Ramesh, what I say, aspire to inspire before expire. The vision helped many people. Of course, it will help you also. This is our AIMS corporate brochure, is also available in the website. And also we developed a CPD and CTP visions on the companies, how we do the corporate trainings. And also RCCP vision also we published. All these 4 sectors in 2024, AIMS will do the various operations and businesses. Be part of it, be get a success. And finally, my conclusion is be as a true professional. At the end of the day, go to the clients with your confidence, with your enriched communication skills. That is possible through AIMS. I would like to play one small video of one of my previous mentee. She's from Mumbai and lives in Dubai. Watch for a while about our testimonial. Sorry, I think it's not working. Let me see Mohit one.
Hi everyone, this is Mohit Saluja and I'm MRICS in a batch of 2020. I was associated with AIMS in 2017 when Ramesh sir came to my college as a speaker. Then he came at CBRE for a session when I was working there as an assistant manager. I got associated with Ramesh sir AIMS group in 2018 for 2 years of structured training, and the guidance he gave, he always encouraged. And finally in 2020 I got the MRICS, and one of the main important thing what I felt was the mock interview before my final assessment, which encouraged and helped me a lot. So I strongly recommend you to associate with AIMS, because the course curriculum and the presentation and the networking you will get with association with AIMS is fantabulous. And I always says that it is not the destination, it's always the journey. You'll see, you'll learn a lot of things during your structured training. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I think because of the running of the time, I just request all of you to watch some testimonials in my website. That helps you a lot. And finally, I want to say, anytime when you want to achieve something in the life, look at very high, because that's what the life, how it helps you. I think one of my mentee, Mr. Vijay Kumar Madne, and he's one of the senior vice president with Runawal. Today, he's also attending sessions. He's also given a testimonial message. Thank you, Dr. Vijay Kumar ji. And also other professionals who are greeting here is truly appreciating your time. And today you listen to a person who sets about Indian personality, who did something in our profession in all Middle East countries. In case, if you want to promote my vision, please go to one of the posts in the LinkedIn. Since I am traveling tomorrow to Egypt, would you like to support me? Just put the comments what you attended today and encourage be in AIMS network, because I developed this network to the extreme level. Why? Because that is what you all have to learn in the future. And I request all of you to pop up into our AIMS network, follow, you will get a lot of benefits in the future. And AIMS meant for motivation. Watch a small video as a final motivation from our side. Is about learning the power of now.
The most important choice you can make every morning is to wake up with the right attitude. You can start your day full of energy to achieve the things you have always dreamed of. Or you can drag yourself out of bed to start your daily routine of doing things you don't even believe in. The choice is yours. What I've learned through life is that nothing can stop a person with the right attitude from achieving their goals. So the biggest investment you can make is in your thoughts. Look inside you. What is your dream? What is your passion? What was the first answer you had when someone asked you as a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now ask yourself, are the dreams you had as a child still alive inside you today? Because working on something that you don't like is always going to be stressful, but doing something you love gives you the passion that feeds your spirit. A wise man once said, when you work, you fulfill a part of the earth's furthest dream assigned to you when that dream was first born. All it takes to achieve your dreams is that first step. So what's stopping you? What have you got to lose? Take that step now. I mean, look at the UAE where vision made wonders. The leaders had a dream where even the sky wasn't the limit. Where the desert once grew trees, it now grows buildings, hospitals, schools, and airports. Projects thought to be impossible by many were made possible to us, because where they saw challenges, we saw chances to change the world. Their vision built their generation, and as their vision came to life, it inspired youth across the nation who wanted to be a part of it. It was our leaders' chance to equip the future generation with the power to make their own dreams come true. Because the leaders believed in their dream, and their love for their people was made visible through their work. So pour your heart into your work and sing your song. Sing your song. This will be the best thing you can do for yourself, your family, and for your entire country. Be innovative. Be an achiever. Think outside the box because no dream is too big. Set a clear goal, put a plan in place, and stick to it. The entire ocean is made out of little water drops. Focus on your goal and don't procrastinate. Create your own opportunities. Have a positive outlook. Build a team that you can rely on. Learn from your mistakes. Pick yourself up and never quit. Be an inspiration to others. Lead by example. And take the time to raise others up with you. Be a leader. Enlighten your imagination. Unleash your potential. Change the world because the world is in your hands and the future is born now.
Thank you so much. I believe this is my last word to all of you. Look for professional development in the life. Don't stop your progression. Last point to say to all of you, don't think about your age. Age doesn't matter. Yeah. Even after the 50 plus today, I am ready to learn. Maybe never stops. So in case if you have any further questions, you can contact us. My email ID and everything is available in the websites. We'll also share the further information. With that, I would like to